In this video, I've reviewed the best, cheap tape measures on Amazon for your DIY projects. Hey guys, it's David here from David's DIY Reviews. On this channel we do DIY reviews of products, materials, and how-to videos on those tools and materials. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more videos just like this one. The first tape measure I reviewed is the Fuller Tools 12-foot tape. So straight out of the packaging I noticed this is a very lightweight tape, which is good for working, but it's probably not a professional grade tape measure. It's probably fairly cheap and may break easily if you dropped it, but not bad. The blade width is 1/2 inch, which is not that wide for long measurements because the tape measure will break and fold down after 5 feet. It is a 12-foot tape, which is on the shorter side, so it doesn't have stud markings every 16 inches. That is a nice feature to have for home construction, but not the end of the world. It does measure in inches and centimeters, and interestingly, I haven't seen this on many tapes, but between inches, it actually has the fractions written on the tape. Kind of a neat feature. And after the 1 foot mark, it actually reads on the tape 1-1, 1-2, and so on. After 2 feet, 2-1, 2-2, which is the foot plus the inches. That's pretty interesting, especially if you're having trouble reading tape measures. The tab on the end is only double riveted. I generally like to buy a tape with triple riveted tabs. They usually keep their measurement a little better that way, but for small amount of uses, not the end of the world either. It's got a belt clip on it, pretty standard. It's got a lock on it, also pretty standard, although it doesn't have a quick lock on it, which is nice to have for quick measuring. And like I said, this is a Fuller tape, and Fuller Tools is a pretty good company. They've been around for about 50 years, so that in itself is not bad. On the packaging it says this tape's guaranteed for life, but I don't know, it's hard to say how you'd really warranty a tape measure for a lifetime, but I mean, if it breaks, you can try to get a new one from them, I guess. This particular tape measure is part number 750-7012. And like I said, it retails on Amazon right now for $8.56. That's a really good bargain for this tape, actually. I kind of don't mind this. It's screwed together, so even if the casing becomes worn or loose, it's still going to stay together. There's a bit of movement in the 2 halves of the case, which it's not the best right out of the packaging. Like I said, if you drop this, it might not last too long, but for the price, it's actually a pretty good bargain. The next tape measure I reviewed is the Task Tools Tough Enough 25-foot tape. Task Tools Tough-E-Nuff. Tough enough, yeah. So straight out of the packaging, this is a nice heavy tape. I really like the feel of it. It also has a nice feature of a built-in spring-loaded shock absorber. What that means is the tape inside is kind of suspended in there so that if you drop it or it suffers impacts, it won't be damaged quite so easily. That's really nice. This is a 25-foot tape, which is kind of big for a lot of little stuff around the house. It's big, it's bulky. The blade on the tape is 1 inch wide, which is nice because it'll extend up to 7 feet before folding. This tape, unlike the other one, has a triple riveted tab on the end, which is nice because that'll keep that tab exactly precise where it needs to be when measuring inside and outside. It has the usual thumb lock, but it also has a quick release lock, which is really handy for quick measuring. One of the big downsides though is it doesn't read in centimeters and millimeters. Personally, I don't really use centimeters, but I mean, it's 2020 already, so it's nice to have it on a tape. One of the advantages is being a longer tape measure. It does have stud markings every 16 inches, which is great if you're doing new construction or renovations of new rooms in your home. Unlike the other tape measure, this tape gives the actual precise measurement of the length of the tape for measuring inside to inside, butting your tape measure up against. I don't know as much about Task Tools, but they claim if you return this to where you purchased it, they'll give you a new one for free. It has the removable belt loop as well, just like the Fuller Tools tape, which is nice because I like to pull the belt loop off just so I can put the tape in my pocket. That's just what I like to do. This tape measure is part number 01160 and retails for $8.95 on Amazon right now, which for a 25-foot tape measure with a wide blade like that, that's a really good deal. So as for a comparison, that doesn't really apply to this case because, I mean, it's a 25-foot tape and a 12-foot tape, so kind of different purposes, not really the same market. But me, if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with the Tough Enough, the Task Tools, just because it's a 25-foot tape. I mean, with 12 feet, you're going to run into a situation where you just wish you had a longer tape. The Fuller Tools does have the fraction readout, which is really great for a lot of people, but once you can read a tape fine, you don't really need it, and it kind of makes the tape itself a little cluttered and harder to read from long distances. But to have two tapes on hand, that's really nice, especially if you're working with somebody else. I mean, you kind of have to have two, in which case, either one of these I would highly recommend. Very good tapes for the price. I mean, under 10 bucks, you can't beat that. Another close runner-up in a shorter tape is the ATE Pro 10 foot. That's on Amazon right now for a very good price. It's part number 20035 and it retails for $8 even, and it's a really good quality tape. It has a 1/2-inch blade and reads in inches and centimeters. Definitely a good buy for a small short tape. The links to these two tape measures along with the ATE will be in the description below. And hey, what tape measure are you guys using? And do you have any good suggestions for good cheap tape measures right now? Leave it in the comments below. And if you're having trouble using a tape measure, check out the video in the card above on how to use a tape measure. And hey guys, if you got value out of this video, definitely think about subscribing. See you in the next video.